Hi, welcome back. We have been working on documenting the game design process, and we're currently thinking about the theme that we want to use. There were several ideas that we've been tossing around for the last 24 hours, and the one that keeps coming back up is a Halloween theme. Um, so I'm going to uh, flush out the theme today, thinking about how does that Halloween and how does trick or treating fit in. So the idea that keeps coming up in the mind is a Halloween theme, trick and treat. And what you do is you have a variety of treats that you're collecting from the neighbors as you go and take tricks from. Sounds kind of weird. The game is taking tricks. The visual is candy. The name of the game is Trick and Treat. That's the working name for right now. That may change. Um, but I'm going to start developing a lower level candy, an upper level candy, and then the trump will somehow fit in there. And um, so today's goal is to plan out the lower group, the higher group, and the trump group. Start to identify the types of candies, treats uh, that you would be collecting, and then the rework so that each player gets one opportunity to lead out, which will allow them to pick, and then each house will give a piece of candy to the other players. And at the end of 4 rounds, everyone will have a bag full of candy, and then you count up the candy to see what the score is, and then the winner is the one with the most candy in their bag or the highest scoring candy. Uh, Obviously, higher quality candy would be worth more points than, say, an apple versus a Snicker bar, for example. So, um, yeah, today's goal is to kind of flesh out what those items are and see how they fit. Test the rotating lead on the that, and then come back and see where we're at. Thanks. Okay, so we got a lot of our idea flushed out today. We using our trick and treat theme idea, we came up with um, 6 decorations, Halloween decoration cards, 5 sweet treat cards, and 5 healthy snack cards. So the idea is that, and then we wrote up a set of rules. So this is the trick and treat 4-player 16 card game. The neighborhood is getting ready for Halloween. Everyone is decorating their houses, their yards, making healthy snacks, and giving away sweet treats to each other. Do you have the best decorated house, the best snacks, the best treats? So that's the premise of what we're working on. The next, now that we have, there's for the idea of having somebody lead, which was not the important piece. The important piece is that everyone ends up with one trick. So that was the big thing that I focused on today to figure out. And what I came up with was something called trick passing. And basically, what it is when you win a trick, you can either keep that trick or you can pass it to your right, as long as there's somebody to your right that doesn't have a trick already. If you're the last player without a trick, then you're kind of stuck with it. I got that written down in the rules. I'll put the PDF file available in the public Dropbox, and I can send a link to anyone who's interested. The goal is for each player to have one trick at the end of the round. The highest point card wins trick. They can keep the trick or they can pass the trick if there's some to the right without a trick. When a trick is passed you, you can keep that trick if you don't already have a trick, or you can pass that trick on to the next person if there's somebody to the right of you that does not have a trick. If you pass the trick and it comes back to you, you have to keep that trick. That would only happen on the first round, typically. And then on the fourth round, there's only going to be one person who doesn't have a trick. Once each player has a trick, then those hands are scored and recorded. And at the end, the goal is then the next hand is played. So over several hands, you'll accumulate trick and treat points. And then when somebody reaches 1,000 points, the game ends, and whoever has the most trick and treat points is declared the best house in the neighborhood. The next task to do is to build out the prototypes, make some little cards, and then so the next time we'll get together will be again at the testing table with a deck of cards that have been prototyped and ready to play test trick and treat.